It seems then if through our communities, if we could have more independence over our food production and our energy production, so we're not dependent on food from halfway across the planet or energy from halfway across the planet through human rights atrocities and, you know, with blood all over it, sort of from wars, that we'd be in a much healthier state.
It would be much more appetizing too, I should think.
Yeah. So we've just looked at food and energy from some of the eco-villages, and Albert's been involved in the Global Eco-Village Network and one of the founders there, and you were its chairman, or?
I was chairman of the board for a number of years and president for a couple of years.
So in your world travels of eco-villages and sustainable communities, what was one of the best examples of energy provision in the community?
Well, I mentioned Iceland. Of course, they have the resource, and that's the oldest eco-village in the world is in Iceland. It's Solheimur, started in 1930, and they have wind power and geothermal power, and they grow their own food there, and they take care of developmentally challenged children as an outreach program. They're also planting trees all over Iceland. You know, Iceland was deforested in the 16th and 17th centuries when it was a part of Denmark, and they're putting all the trees back now. So that's a good example, but there are many. If you look at the largest conglomeration of eco-villages in one country, that would have to be Sri Lanka. And that's the Sarvodaya movement, which a fellow named Aryayatna, who was a student of Mahatma Gandhi, brought Sarvodaya Shramadana to Sri Lanka in the 1950s. And part of his concept of it was that you would have a self-help program at a village scale, where a village would look at what are the basic human needs. Where do we have abundances? Where do we have scarcities? Can we improve our water system? Can we improve our school? Can we improve our businesses? Can we improve this or that we don't have? And then when a village gets to a certain level of sufficiency and adequate services for its population, it then says, I can turn around and use my abundance to help another village. And then the next village comes along, and as it grows into a healthier state of affairs, it then has an obligation to turn around and help another village. And so it's a pay-it-forward system, village to village. And now, after all these years, they're up to about 12,000 villages that have gone through that process. And they have adopted the eco-village as a model, which essentially says not only is it sufficient that we have the basic human needs, but we need to be mindful of the planet's needs. So we need to get our energy from renewable resources. We need to build soils and protect wildlife and restore degraded parts of Sri Lanka as an effort. We also need to be involved with the peace movement because Sri Lanka is an area that's been in conflict for many years, and it seems to be this sort of intractable problem between two different classes or ethnic groups. And you have to try to say, well, it's not going to be quick, but now Sarvodaya has a 500-year peace plan that they're putting forward about how we're going to resolve the conflict between the groups in Sri Lanka.